How do we create a strong brand identity? So powerful that when people see our logo, they feel an emotion. When they hear our jingle, they smile. So let's dive in so that you can start applying the same principles big brands use for their business in your YouTube channel. Okay, we should really start defining what brand really means, because your brand is not your logo, your color palette, the graphics that you use in your marketing. These are just visual representation and vehicles and symbols of the brand. What a brand really is and what people perceive of a specific organization, company, or person is your reputation, is what people say when they look at your logo, your color palettes, and your graphics. So behind a brand, there is way more than just a visual facade. Isn't it fascinating when you can just hear a jingle like this one? Or see a logo and it immediately makes you feel something. That is a deeper connection with the brand that you have, and you don't even know why it's happening. But thankfully, Simon Sinek explained perfectly how they do it in his book, Start With Why. Simon Sinek explains the concept of the golden circle that looks something like this. Imagine your company, your organization, your brand being this big pie, and it's sliced in 3 different circles: the why, how, and what. This is my interpretation of the golden circle, but honestly, the what is what you say you do, the how is just the way you do things, and the why is the driver that makes you do the things that you're doing. And like Simon Sinek says, pretty much anybody knows what they're doing. I help you grow your YouTube channel. I teach you how to lose weight. I help you be more focused. Or whatever you do, you kind of know what you're doing. That's the external layer. How you do it is pretty much the media, the vehicle that allows you to do the what. I am helping you grow your YouTube channel with video on another YouTube channel, right? It might be through books, it might be through podcasts, it might be to in-person events. That's your how. But not many know why they do what they do. You might say, Jacopo, but what does this have to do with branding? I'm trying to come up with branding design and ideas. How is this helping me? Have you ever stopped and looked at big brands and why they are so memorable and everybody know exactly what they do just by looking at their logo? It's because they are applying the golden circle principles. Let's take Nike, for example. Yes, you remember the logo, but what does the tagline says? Just do it. Their marketing is all about pushing you to do the things that scare you, the things that you need to accomplish to feel your self-worth. They want to empower you with nice sportswear that will help you along the way. And everything they do reflects this idea, this why. What about Apple? They make computers like many other companies, but why everybody's so obsessed with Apple? Have you ever seen Apple's advertisements? They are incredibly empowering for the individual. They want people to think differently and they just provide beautiful tools for them to express themselves. 1,000 songs in your pocket. I mean, how amazing is that? Okay, brilliant, Jacob, okay, but how do I then take this principle and use it for my channel, for my business? How do I do it? Well, if you haven't guessed it already, there are 3 simple steps to define your brand, at least on paper. You gotta define your why, you're gonna define your how and what. But let's get practical for a second. I wanted to give you an actual example where my wife and I, applied this principle on our first business, which is called Lazy Dancer Tips. The why of the company was simple. My wife had 20 years experience in ballet. She hated the ballet world because of how structured and how judgmental that was. So she made her a mission to make ballet available to anyone. It doesn't matter what kind of age, religion, shape or form they are. Everybody should enjoy the benefit of this art form that is ballet. So she dedicated the last 6 years fulfilling this mission. The how is through video, on YouTube, on memberships, on online courses, mainly online because that's what we decided to do. And the what are friendly exercises that anyone can do in their home by also creating an inclusive and friendly community around all of our products. That's on paper. But now let's see how that actually looks like in terms of brand design. Let's have a look at our logo, because everyone wants a logo, right? Based on what we said before, we wanted a logo that wasn't intimidating, that was fun, but still taking itself very seriously in a way. My wife is in love with the 80s, 90s, so this kind of bubblegum hint to the logo was something that we really liked. So we came out with this. It inspires movement as well, which is sort of the core of what we do, right? Then let's talk about color palettes. We know that our avatar is mainly adult dancers, people that didn't have the chance to enjoy ballet when they were younger. We didn't want anything too intimidating like black and white. We didn't want anything childish either, because we are not talking to kids. So we needed something friendly, but still very playful and serious. So we chose this color palette, which is funky and fun, and we can pretty much play around with it as much as we want. Then what about how we do the videos? We were wondering, shall we rent a studio? Shall we make it super professional? Or shall we make it in the same environment as people that are gonna follow us? They don't want to be judged, and they are probably afraid of stepping into a ballet studio. So why should we show them that we are in a ballet studio? That doesn't make any sense. So our brand, our mission told us how to do things. And that resulted into being at home and doing it in the comfort of our lounge. They would see themselves doing the same thing that we do. We can get closer to our dear client. And that was a great choice in terms of how we defined our brand. Now, the thing that excites me the most is having 300,000 views every month. You start getting discovered by many people. And sometimes when my wife and I are out, it just happens that people stop her to ask her, I'm sorry, do you have a YouTube channel? Are you Alessia? One day we got stopped by a couple, and one of the two was trying to explain who Alessia was, and she'd said something in just one sentence. Do you know Alessia? She's the one that's making ballet available to everyone on YouTube. And I thought that was such a confirmation that we were doing something right, that the mission was clear, and they were happy about it. They actually took benefit from what we were doing. So now you know the principle on what makes a very powerful brand. Once you know the answer to these three simple questions, why, how, and what, everything else can go back to, okay, let me think about what did I answer to those questions? When you come up with your logo, with your color palettes, with your graphics, with the way you do your videos, with the way you present yourself on camera, with the way you talk, with the jokes you make or don't make, because everything needs to fit in the brand. Ultimately, the brand is your reputation. The brand is what people will think of you, the feeling they have with what you do and how you serve them. And if you stay faithful to your why long enough, people will start getting it, and maybe in 10 years, 20 years from now, they will just see your logo and feel something. I know that why is never an easy question to ask. It seems simple, but it's not. It's much deeper. So if you're struggling with that question, watch this video right now, because it's gonna help you find out really why you do the things that you want to do and how to be successful on YouTube.